just like around the world or whatever, and they're just like, oh, like Toronto. I was like, yeah, Toronto, but Toronto in the summer, Toronto in the summer is a different beast. Like, I love Toronto in the summer.
Even now, like, I think we started watching an old film and we ended up turning it off because we were like, our attention span is
My
not.
brain is used to like fucking big tits right away.
I feel like I'm on one of those old.
And welcome back to another episode of 11 Wins Podcast. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie.
And we have great conversations. And today we get to have the sweetest face of the quickest moves in these streets out here. We got a great content creator and the homie.
Our
Winnie.
next guest is, you should just let me do it from now on.
I'm sorry.
Our next guest is a fixed gear cyclist, content creator, and founder of Built to Destroy, a brand dedicated to bringing more people into urban cycling. Please welcome to the show, Zeke Dead. I forgot to ask you that too. Is it Zeke Dead?
Oh, I mean, like, it's my handle, but I just go by Zeke. I mean,
You just go by Zeke.
You could be
okay.
like, oh, Zeke's dead, or
Okay.
I got Mr. Dead one time, and I was like, I mean, I'll take it.
Where did you
Mr.
come up?
Dead.
So Zeke Dead is your online persona.
Yeah, or like my
Where did-
artist tag kind of thing.
Okay, right. Okay, cool. So if someone called you fully Zeke Dead, you'd respond to it.
Probably, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, like, it would probably be like more of a like Zeke's dead kind of thing, like, or I don't know. I guess no one's really.
But
Like,
Zeke, I just go with, I call him Z.
How did you come up with that?
So when I was in art school, you see, I don't know. I think it was in like my second year or like maybe first or something. But I got my sister. Or no, I don't know. My sister took a photo of me like on the ground for some reason, and like I was all like splayed out, and it kind of looked cool, right, with the fit and everything. So I was like, damn, like I look kind of dead. And then like I put like a little like graphic over it, being like Zeke's dead. And then fucking, I don't know, like 15 years later or something. Here
That's
we
who
are.
you are.
I stuck with it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to change that at all. That's going to become my entire personality.
Yo, it's so punk rock.
Thank you. I mean,
And you have this cool punk rock vibe about you. And I want to get into this like content and what you've created and how you've been representing, holding it down, and the waves you've been floating. But right away, we just got to share what your energy is on some vibes today, because you just got off of a sun-kissed trip where someone gave you the motto of a lifetime. Can you share the story one time for the...
man, honestly, I just got to say that if you haven't been to Brazil, specifically Carnival, I mean, Brazil in itself is beautiful and everything, but Carnival... like life-changing. I just got back yesterday, and yeah, amazing time, met amazing people, had like, I don't know, the experience of a lifetime, I want to say. But on my way back, I met this guy in my hostel, and I don't know, I met this guy like a day or two ago, or like, I don't know, maybe like a week at tops or something. We like spoke in passing and everything, but yeah, I was just kind of like packing my stuff, and he's like, yo, you out of here? And I was like, yeah, man, like, got to go back to, real life and everything, like, da-da-da-da. And he just looks at me like, yo, don't worry, man. Be courageous, and, like, dabs me up. And, like, I was not expecting that. And, like, that's not something I've gotten from, like, anyone before. But he was just like, yo, be courageous, man, and brought me in. And I was like,
Be courageous.
What a beautiful thing to leave someone with.
yo,
Wow.
for real.
And uncommon. I wonder if it's common, like in his communities, or if he just like as a person was like, this is what I'm going to start telling people.
Yo, I mean, I'm not too sure. And, like,
I think he read your spirit, bro. I think he's just like, dude, this guy's amazing potential. Like, you're
like
already
that
doing
angle.
amazing, but he's like, fucking, what does my namaste say to your namaste? I've had that moment, and it just because they hit you right?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, I wrote it down and like
It
a little
resonates.
note, put it on my, like, in front of my desk where I'm sitting every day, just so I could be like, every day when I wake up, I sit at my desk and I'll just be like, yo, be fucking courageous, man. Like,
What does that mean for you? Like, what does it mean personally? Like, what, obviously it hit you in a really deep way, but why? Why did it hit you so hard?
Like, what
is
have you been
being courageous
feeling?
something that maybe you think you haven't been doing?
I mean, honestly, after the whole trip, like, being, like, just immersed in a whole different culture, and I don't know, Brazil is like Las Vegas, Miami, and like Brazil all rolled into one. I don't know how to describe
Okay.
it. There's like nothing I've experienced like this before, but I was just like, damn, Brazil's a different beast, man. Like, But
What do you mean by that? Like,
2010, we were in Vancouver. Sorry, this is a sidebar. We were in Vancouver, and the Olympics came to Vancouver in 2010, and it was totally awesome. And everyone was like, "You guys need to get out of Vancouver. It's going to be horrible. Like all of these, like." Tourists are going to come in, like it's not going to be good. I was serving at the time, made so much cash in the 10 days that everyone was in therefore, and it was so much fun. But the Brazilians were the most fun. We were doing an interview on the street, and we were just filming people, and then there's some Brazilians came up and we're like, "Where are you from?" And they're like, "Brazil!" And we remember that forever. Like that's a moment in my memory box that's like, wow, like
they represent so
that's
good.
Yeah, that's what I know of Brazilians, and it was an awesome
I mean, and
moment.
to your point, honestly, Brazilians, like the national pride they have to be Brazilian, they're just like,
It's
we're
incredible.
from Brazil. Like,
Yeah.
I met this one karaoke, and that's like I think I'm probably butchering the term, but that's how they describe their someone who's like born and raised there. They're like, "Oh, I'm karaoke," I think. But I got talking to her and everything, and I don't know. I was just like, okay, so what are the chances of like you come to Toronto or like me coming back? And she stops, pauses for a second. She's like, yeah, you're probably gonna have to come back, because she was just like so not about like traveling outside. Because she's like, what am I leaving there for?
Totally.
Like, I got beaches, I got like the sun, I have all like
The good
everything.
energy of the communities. Yeah.
Such rich culture. I was like, fuck, man. Like now I'm planning to go back. I'm like, I started I switched over my Duolingo from Spanish to Portuguese. So like,
Oh my God.
I'm kind of committed. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be learning a little Brazilian Portuguese. So.
I think that if you know Portuguese, you can learn Spanish pretty quickly. I think they are. We hope you're enjoying this amazing conversation with this incredible guest.
Always a dope time. But Win, what else do we have on our channel?
We have stretch-alongs where you can stretch with me and meditations.
What? And I do food videos. I cook dope recipes at home that you can make at home. And we cover local gyms.
So after this conversation that you're listening to right now, go check out some of our other videos.
Thanks for subscribing too. It's growing.
But I mean, with that being said, it is a fun challenge, I think, and I say challenge accepted.
Nice, good for you. Definitely Brazil's like on our hit list. That would be some place that I would definitely want to go. Need to go now after this experience for sure during Carnival. So going back to be courageous though, like, why do you think that hit you so hard?
Yeah, I think because at the moment I was just like thinking back to like the list of stuff I had to do, and I was like, man, like not really looking forward. I'm going back. It's gonna be like 0 degrees. It was 35 the entire time. I was like chilling, sun kissed. Like I spent nearly every day. If I wasn't at like a Blocko, I was at a party or at a beach. It was amazing.
Water's good.
So good.
Yeah. Do you go in the ocean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I fuck with the ocean. I fuck with the ocean.
I love the ocean.
Yeah, I need an ocean nearby. Jesus Christ, Lake Ontario. I don't claim her. But
if you go to it's a lake. It's a lake. But if you go to the island, you haven't had a summer here yet, have you?
Oh, I mean, no. Like, and I was telling everyone I met some people from like, I don't know, just like around the world or whatever, and they're just like, oh, like Toronto. I was like, yeah, Toronto, but Toronto in the summer, Toronto in the summer is a different beast. Like, I love Toronto in the summer.
Toronto in the summer is everything. That's the only reason people live here. Like, they do not live here because of the winter. Toronto in the winter is people are angry. Yep. I've been doing this new thing because why I'm asking about your courageous, why I'm inquiring about that is I've just recently had a moment where I was doing like a comedy competition and they brought us all on stage to like remind everyone of who the comics were so they could vote for us. Yeah. And then they brought us on stage again to all of us to announce the winner. And I just felt really uncomfortable going back on stage as a group both times. And when I got off stage the first time, I like noticed myself like sort of my shoulders kind of collapsed and I concaved and I looked down, and because you had to go through the audience to get onto the stage. So when we left stage, you were walking back through the audience, and I had just told them these jokes, like that are vulnerable and shit. And I didn't make eye contact with anybody. And I was like, bro, if you're going to do this, you need the confidence of looking people in the eye and being like, I know I'm good. Like, it doesn't actually, I like your validation, don't get me wrong, but like you're not going to do it if you're hunched over and dodging people and not being like the star that you want to be. Like it's just, and so I'm prying a little bit because I know I've just had a moment where I was like, you know what?
I need to be courageous.
I do need to be courageous. And it does take, all of these things. Traveling takes courage. Oh my gosh, when you're in a country that you've never been to, you don't speak the language, it takes up so much of your energy, like your mental energy, that you like, good thing you went during Carnival so you could just like live off of endorphins for the whole time that you were there.
Much, yeah.
But like, it really, like, you get exhausted when you're in a new place because your brain is like, this is not something that I'm used to at all.
Yeah, the stimulation is like insanity.
Yeah, and you
like,
were also talking about like a bit of the risk that you take. Well, Brazil, I've heard, is very safe if you just like work with.
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you gotta be street smart, like,
Yeah.
for sure. And especially where I was staying, because I was staying in a favela, and favelas are like, I mean, for lack of better terms, like pretty much like ghettos at the, I don't know, ghettos that like old slaves were like forced into, like, I don't know, in the 1800s or whatever, when they were free. And they pretty much just like built, there's no building, like building codes or anything. So they just literally built like up these hills, but like they're just like massive structures. They're like amazing. Honestly, I saw it. Like when I got to my hostel, I like climbed to the top of and because there you have a rooftop or whatever. And I got to the top and I just like looked at all these buildings, like on buildings. And I was like, damn, like, and that was just a testament to like, the human spirit. I feel like you give like a human being, like you put them in a situation and it's just like that's what they'll do, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
Brazil, man, I was like, yo, the real one. But yeah, but going back to the courageous question and everything, I feel like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I didn't have to stop there when I was like in Brazil, like I had to. I had the opportunity to carry that like feeling that I got and all this life experience with me and just like embody it and just like keep that going. And I was like, yeah, like what the hell am I doing? Like like what am I doing other than being courageous? Like just go get your shit done. Like
just go get it done.
Push, let's fucking go. You know? Okay,
get hype on it. I mean, maybe. Ellevan's making bulletproof coffee. If you don't know what that is, it's butter blended with coffee. And apparently it just like helps to sustain the caffeine at a more evenly and longer distribution rate. Yeah, so instead of you drinking coffee and being like, ah! And then being like, holy fuck, it's meant to like just kind of not even keel, but like sustain that energy.
I love that actually.
But I metabolize slowly, so any caffeine that I have sustains like for hours. It's the best. Do you crash on caffeine?
I mean, I feel like if you just keep drinking caffeine, you'll
Yeah.
never crash. Like it's just one of those things. It's
That's
one of
right.
those
drugs.
Yeah,
You up
I
at,
love
like, 4 in the
that people like don't think about coffee and sugar as a drug.
Oh, but they're so hard.
They
Yeah,
are.
like, I have like my biggest
100%.
things are just like caffeine,
that
and
badge.
nicotine.
Thank you
man,
kindly,
like,
Benny.
Yeah, caffeine is one of the delicious chosen vices, eh?
Too good.
Are you gonna pass on
What?
this? Right now?
Yeah, no, I'll take a couple hits of this to level out a bit.
And bulletproof coffee
What's
has
the,
froth.
What's the food
Cheers, buddy.
in Brazil? Cheers.
Oh my God. Okay, don't even get me started.
Latin Brazilian.
I'm gonna
food.
get you started, Zeke. I want to know about the food in
if
Brazil.
you want to get into it, okay. You think? I don't know. Described in the perfect way by my karaoke friend.
Is there many things wrapped in leaves?
Boy, what?
Like banana leaves, or is this
On behalf of all the Brazilians.
Okay, tell me what it is. What do they?
Yo,
what do they eat?
They took every single food from around the world and just kind of made it better.
Okay.
Like even if it's like slightly, they just kind of made it better. And like their own food is like amazing. I don't know. I had a bunch of like fried like doughy kind of things, but like they're like, I don't know, with like shrimp and stuff in them. I don't even know the name.
Empanadas or something.
They're like empanadas, I want to say, but
They're
oh my
good.
God.
Better take on empanadas.
Probably.
What'd you have for breakfast?
Man, like right down, cause like, okay, first off, my hostel was at like the top of the favela, pretty much, and like I had to climb 4 large, steep hills to get there. But I think near the top of the second hill, there was like a nice little strip where there was a restaurant and, or not even there was a restaurant, yeah. And they just had like patios on the side or whatever, and you just like pull up being like, yo, I don't know, un plato de carne. I mean, I butchered it every time.
That's meat. I know that's a plate of meat.
You played a steak, I want to say, but
Okay.
like a plato, I don't think that's a Portuguese or Brazilian word at all. I just threw that in.
Isn't it just like beef platter?
Pretty much, yeah. But like they do like rice, beans, this like, I don't know, grainy kind of like couscous kind of looking thing. They put it on everything, but I was like, okay, like it's kind of good. So I like.
So
ate
you
that
were
up,
having meat and rice in the morning.
Yeah. No, because like
Brazil needs the
Yeah.
energy for the day.
No,
For
because
sure,
you
protein
don't
and carbs. Hell yeah.
understand, like, because
Brazilians are people of the future. They seem like they are all the races mixed in one. A
You know
Brazilian,
what?
because they got light eyes and dark skin, but also it seems like all the races have intermingled. I'd be like, that's what humans are
they're
going to look
pretty
like
over
eventually.
there,
They're so
eh?
pretty.
Yeah.
And what's with the booties?
Yo, honestly.
And the dicks on these men, I swear to God.
They got a little something for everyone. I'll say that now. Because Brazilians are
They're
goddamn
gorgeous.
beautiful people.
They
Yeah,
are
I agree.
gorgeous.
I would put Brazilians at the top of.
I'd want to
the beautiful.
reincarnate as a Brazilian.
I mean, I'm doing my best right now. So.
Yeah,
but even still, you know.
If you
That's life.
got like that accent, you could say you're Brazilian.
I mean, a lot of people thought like I was Brazilian up until I
Yeah.
opened my mouth, and they're just like, gringo, and I was like,
North Americanized, eh?
Bingo. That's so funny.
That's so sick, bro.
oh my god.
Fuck.
So,
Brazil.
on the streets during
Gorgeous
Carnival,
people.
was there like a lot of street food? Like, is it what you'd expect of like kind of like?
Are there
I
lots
don't
of
know.
booty shaking?
I mean, everyone's shaking. Everything and
Is there
everyone. was
performances? Are
shaking.
there stages? Like, or is it just like chaos?
Is it like a
of
drag show
humans?
everywhere?
chaos and drag shows everywhere? Both.
Actually,
Both of
drag
these
shows?
things. I mean, yeah,
But like
people like
that much dressed up.
Yeah. Like I didn't even get to go to the samba drums or anything because like that's where like the real shows are at, you know. But yeah, I mean, actually, I know why I didn't go. I was like partying till like 5 a.m. some days, and then like I don't know, some other people like they go out till 5, and then they're like they take a rest maybe, and then there's another block out at 7. You know, so you got to be up for that.
AM?
They take a
AM.
rest for 90
Maybe.
minutes.
And maybe the rest is the commute to the next block.
Oh,
if it's on the other side of town or
jeez.
some shit, you know?
Nah,
it's like
bro.
the crazy shit. But like, it's a month of this. It's still going.
Wow.
Do you think that's healthy for the system?
I mean,
Maybe they have a bunch of because Brazil's
That group
politics
energy.
aren't great. So maybe this is like a communal rebellion, you know, against their living and economic situation. Like maybe it's
Right.
really something that they need to express for a month of the year because there's
When your house isn't that nice, you want to stay at a party. You want to stay at a party.
I mean, these guys have been training since birth, so like for them, it's just like, oh yeah, you know, like Carnival, like it's a couple months of just debauchery, pretty much. So.
But do they participate in it, or do you think it's more tourists at this point that are?
No, it's them. It's their
It's them.
culture.
It is
Yeah.
like they are very proud of it, and like they have like pre-carnival, actual carnival, post-carnival, post-carnival, and then carnival goodbye, and then probably something after that. I'm not too sure.
So they just find an excuse to party all year.
I mean, for
Good.
like the beginning, yeah,
That's
from January to
incredible.
like March, April.
Is it
kind of
hot
thing.
there?
And is it
It's so nice. Feels
Oh
35
my
degrees,
God.
man. You're just
Oh
like, I
my
walk
Some people
outside.
would consider that too hot, but not me.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
I love
perfect.
a 35 degree. Carnival. What was I gonna say?
Oh no, actually, let's go back to the courage thing. Because first of all,
Yeah,
I have to
let's.
applaud you for like getting on stage and like I don't know, doing a whole comedy show. Because like me personally, like you know, being on a internet stage or whatever, like that's one thing. Because I could just sit in front of a camera and be like, hi, blah 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 blah, you know. But like getting on stage and actually like performing in front of like a crowd and everything, and I know you do that too with like your rapping and like just both of you. I'm like, yo, huge respects because like.
Thank
Wes,
you.
thank you.
I don't know if I would have like that in me sort of thing, so I'm just like
It's a wild thing. Like I definitely was on the side of like I could never be a stand-up comedian because he started in stand-up comedy, and so I watched him, and I would get even nervous for him time. And then when I started in stand-up in 2018, I did it for like 8 months, but I was getting like sick, like physically sick before I would go to open mics, which are the most low-risk shit. No one's paying any attention. Like that's where you should go to bomb. Like you should be bombing at open mics, and I just couldn't do it. So after my first booked show that I did, I quit for 4 years. And then I started again. And it took me a year and a half before I was started to be like, oh, I don't feel like I'm going to die before I go on stage. And I don't know, it's like there's something that pulls you towards it. Like even though I felt like I wanted to die, I still was like, but I want to do this more. Or something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would you do that to yourself?
You're tethered towards the door that is like kind of sometimes inconvenient, and like, but you know the challenge is going to like bring something greater out of you. And then, yeah, you have to do it. You have to do that. Like, do you feel, you said that, okay, I do also want to say sitting in front of a camera, though, and being like, hi, my name is Z, or like putting yourself out there in content. That's a thing of its own, too.
It's very brave.
Because I know a lot of people that can crush live, but can't translate it to content or feel like,
That's
oh,
true.
I don't want this to be permanently out there. Like, there's a lot of comedians that, so I'm saying the respect goes both ways, but I appreciate what you're saying. Sometimes when you get up in front of a large, group of people, or actually, to Winnie's point, sometimes I don't think we'll be tracked in playback, but we've got a little radio frequency
Yeah, I heard
jazz
that too.
going
I
on.
was like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk like this to this music. Fuck what I was just saying. Let's move right along back into courage. Moving back into courage today, we're here rocking with Zeke. Zeke, why don't you tell us about what you've been feeling courageously bumped up about lately?
Goddamn, with a voice like that. I mean, I think I have to just
That was
participate in
nice.
that.
It always goes into an ASMR situation.
Oh, goddamn.
Remember Ladies Man?
I don't.
You are on with the ladies, man. That's just, he used Tim Meadows. It was like a SNL skit turned into a movie. It was very funny. Chlamydia is a soup. I've seen it on the shelves. Sweet thing, can I buy you a 5th sandwich? Anyway.
I just took that in. I was like, damn, a 5th one.
No, yeah, like how do you think you can show up more courageously in your work? Before you answer that, actually, let's talk about your content.
Yeah.
I really think it's super fucking cool that please tell me okay. Whoa, I'm getting high. First question.
I feel you, though. No, we need to go in this direction.
First question is, you're a fixed gear cyclist.
Yes.
What is that?
So the bikes they have on the velodrome in like the Olympics and everything, they're fixed gear bikes, and that just means that they don't coast. And the coasting is when you like could pedal, but then like the back cog like still moves and everything. So with fixed gear, the back cog doesn't move, and it's just continuously like pedaling like that forever until you stop, and then it stops. But yeah.
Does that make you go faster?
I mean, yes. I want to say yes. Some people might be like, but like track bikes, I think, are like the lightest, fastest type of bike you could get.
It's kind of like all-wheel drive, right? Is that?
I want to say yeah, because both wheels are going to keep spinning, and then like unless you stop, like it's going to keep going,
Okay.
So you don't coast?
No coast.
What the fuck? So you're actually exercising the whole time?
The whole time. That's why I think like fixed gear riders, they're like, I don't know, they have like, I know it has it increases your like capacity to like ride and everything, because like you're constantly in motion. There's like no
It's way more
stopping
cardio.
for whatever. Way more
Coasting is
cardio,
so
yeah.
much fun on bikes, though.
Oh, I mean-
I just love being high and shit and just like, and I'll find a hill and just be like, I'm fucking traveling.
Yeah, what
right
about
now.
a hill?
I'm just
What about
sitting.
downhill?
I'm just sitting and traveling.
Downhill, I mean, especially with my bike, because it doesn't have brakes and everything, like you just kind of like, you kind of feel it out. And right now I got like a nice little like, going on.
Your bike doesn't have brakes?
Yeah. I mean,
Well, when he stops pedaling, it stops,
Is that correct?
right?
I mean, yeah, but like you have to like really like I don't know. There's maneuvers that you could do. I mean, insert B-roll maybe here, but like where you could like kind of like skid and like you pretty much whip the back tires to like a halt. Or you could just kind of like I don't know, skidding is a lot of fun when you first like learn, because you're just like, yo, I can skid everywhere, yeah, and it looks sick. People are like, oh my god, what did he just do? I'm like, yeah. But it
Benny,
beats
do you
up.
hear this? We get to get some B-roll of Zeke doing all of this afterwards.
Yo, I got some 4K B-roll for
No,
you.
he
I
has
mean,
B-roll
No,
already.
we want you to do it
oh,
outside.
I mean, yo, both.
Sick.
Fuck it, yeah.
Let me do. Yeah, we'll shoot it.
Is
We'll
this
shoot it.
dangerous?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not, like, no, it's pretty dangerous. I mean, especially if you do it in, like, traffic and shit. Like,
Right.
some of the scenarios I've, like, found myself in definitely.
How's
like,
biking in
not.
Toronto with the rails, with the streetcars?
Yo, the streetcars, I mean, they're one thing. It's, like, everyone else you gotta be worried for, straight up. Like, sometimes I thought, I mean, going back to Brazil, like, up until I went to Brazil, I was like, damn, Toronto's, like, furious. But the way they're fucking maneuvering there, I was like, woo.
Yeah.
But down
Aggressive.
here, man, I feel like sometimes the drivers are actively trying to kill you. Just because they're like, oh, you're on a bike. You look like you're having fun. You don't want to kill yourself?
Yeah,
I'll do it for you.
Oh,
know?
shit.
the drivers can be, the cyclists can be insane as well. But it's kind of a two-way street
That is
between the
true.
drivers and the
True.
cyclists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a beef. You can feel that there are car drivers and bikers, and they are each other's nemesis.
And the cars
in
don't
this
want
city.
the bike lanes, obviously, because then they
There's a
have more
beef.
room, right? Like people who drive cars do not want bike lanes. But we need just relax.
It's a
Let us
great
keep our
biking
bike
city.
lanes.
Honestly,
it's
like
such a great biking city.
you got people who are so deep in the culture and like Zeke, you know, who really know about their bikes, but also like just the rent a bike program. Like you see like cute couples here like traveling from out of town or something, and I do the same when I'm in New York. Or like LA, I rent those fucking Lime scooters, like, you know, and
Queens Key stroll.
It gives
It's really
people an
nice.
opportunity to get around a city without being like trapped in a car,
Yeah.
like kind of thing, you know. So it's like I think that the bike lanes are fucking dope.
Okay, so you're this. Thank you. I agree. You're this fixed
I don't know, shout out to
gear
Mike.
cyclist, and you're a content creator. When did you merge into content creating, and was it intentional, or did you kind of do it
Yo,
by
it's
accident?
actually, I mean, completely by accident, complete fluke. My content creation journey kind of started when around the pandemic, and I was like, just fresh out of college or whatever. I completed my last course. So I was like, great, I have a degree in film and photography. Dope. I could find nothing.
What does
because
that
it's like-
mean? Yeah.
I mean, like, no, just because, like, I don't know, pandemic was there. It was, like, the start of it. I was like,
Oh shit!
all right,
Right.
what am I doing? So, like, I don't know. I love shooting and everything and just making stuff in general. So, like, I started making stuff, and then, like, I started being like, oh, like, social media is kind of popping off. Like, cool. And, like, I started looking for jobs, like, as a video editor. But then this plastic surgery clinic, sick surgery, shout out Dr. Hugenberg one time. Fucking,
Okay.
the OG. He's stern, but he's fair. And honestly, I respect that.
I love
you know?
that.
Like, even still, I'm like, damn, like,
He's stern.
Stern, but he's
you know,
fair, and
because,
I
like,
respect
he built
that.
himself up from nothing and like became like, I don't know, one of the best plastic surgeons in Toronto, and I was like,
Sick.
damn.
Wow.
And then I had an interview for him in like mid like surgery kind of thing, and I got brought into the operating thing,
What?
like full thing. Like beforehand, I had to like gear up, got to put on scrubs and like the mask, gloves, the
They
whole
wanted to know if
thing.
you were gonna be okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And guys, let me tell you, I don't like fucks with the gore and the blood and
Yeah,
stuff.
me
and
neither.
this guy, he's just like doing some lipo, and
He
he's
was
like, "Oh,
not
you're the new candidate, all right?"
doing some lipo. He's
And he's-
sucking out
Oh
fat. Is that
my
the sucking
God.
out
Yeah,
fat?
but like it's like aggressive, and he's like, "Oh, you're the new the applicant." He's like, "Strong pause, strong pause." All right, so you're gonna make some content today. I mean, doesn't talk like that, but
We gotta make that a clip because this looks suggestive.
just me like, we're gonna make some content today.
Tell us about your OnlyFans, Z.
Well, I mean, honestly, yo, link in the bio, guys.
Big Daddy ZZZ.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible.
So
So,
he was
what did you
pumping
do?
fat.
Did you pull out a phone or
Okay,
what?
so first I internally screamed for about 15 seconds. I was like, I gathered my shit, and honestly, in that moment, I was courageous, you know? And I was like, don't stop there. So I was like, all right, cool. I looked around the room. I was like, all right, we got the fat suction machine or whatever. We got him doing lipo. We got him like, I don't know, things. So I just like I don't know. I filmed doing this thing, and like
The
kind of the
lighting's
entire process.
obviously pretty good, I would
Oh, I
imagine,
mean, you know, you
in
got
there.
some phenomenal lights
Right.
up above, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like,
Okay, so you didn't have to
almost
bring in anything like that.
pretty much all on the iPhone kind of thing. And that's where, I mean, we're going to touch on this at some point, but I got asked a lot, like, oh, how do I start? Or like, what should I start with? Literally on an iPhone.
Yes,
You know?
Literally
100%.
still shooting one angle on an iPhone.
You
Yeah.
know?
They're so good now.
They're so
But
good.
even if you don't have like the newest version or whatever, like yeah, it doesn't
I
matter.
have an iPhone 12.
We are so enabled.
And
Actually,
it totally works still.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, right there in the operating theater, I just kind of like filmed some stuff, put it together. I think, and then I made another one just like about the like clinic itself and like the location and everything.
Nice.
And then I think the whole interview was like 2-3 hours or something. And at the end, honestly, I was just kind of like, oh man, like I don't know if I got that job. And they're just like, all right, we'll be in touch. I went home and think like a week later, they're just like, all right, so what's your base salary kind of thing? Like when can you start? And I was like, what the fuck?
Nice.
Like, okay.
They asked you what your base salary was, or they offered you something?
I think it was like they wanted to know like my hourly rate or something.
Yeah.
As like a part-time thing, but then the part-time kind of turned into a full-time thing.
Sick.
And like, yeah, I just got started like editing videos for TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat because he's like huge on that too. And I was like, oh. Shit. So that's where I cut my teeth on that. And,
So that's a good place to
Nice.
start because you understand appealing to a market.
yeah,
You were hired by
yeah.
a business and obviously kept on from a contractor to a more permanent position, or I don't know if they switch you to salary or whatever. But even if it's just consistent, like promised contract work or whatever, that is like you're gaining results. Like they must have gotten some influx of consumers because of the content you put out.
Oh, I mean, I think we went from like, I don't know, like 19K to like, I think like 40K by the time I was gone. So
That's
I was kind of
what's up.
like, but it's just literally like, because we were posting every day. I mean, actually, I mean, yeah, we I could say we, because honestly, some people don't like being on social media, but something I loved about Martin is that he actually like, he's on the platform.
That's
too.
cool.
He's, like communicating with his
Yeah.
audience, being like,
You
yo,
gotta
what's
do
up?
that.
And, yeah. So we were posting like every day, and like honestly, consistency there, that was key as hell. I realized, you know, and oh my god, like I mean, I know you guys can feel that too, because like
Consistency.
posting every day, even if it's just like a shit post, being like, yo, look at my like ashtray. There's no ash in there, like,
Bro,
boom, content.
I've run out of well photographized topless shots. I can't, you
man.
Oh,
know.
of like, oh that.
Yeah, of all that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I'm just like
Man, baby.
Gotta give the people what they want.
Winnie did a sexy photo shoot as well, and she like put up one of those photos and got like the most likes she's ever gotten.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
People just respond to that. It's like they just want the candy.
And the algorithm
No,
just fucking
sex sells.
sends her out though too. The algo's like
Pump, pump, pump.
tits, like
Yeah.
we got another one. Fucking
Tits
Feed
and
it to
ass.
the men.
Let's get this out to people.
Yeah, liposuction. We were saying you could really notice like what somebody's frame of mind is by what their Instagram homepage is feeding them when he's starting to write jokes about mine.
If you don't like it, I cannot.
I love it. It's so funny because what do you see on mine?
Music, hot girl, music, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl. Joe Rogan. Muscle mommy.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yo, she's nailed it. That's exactly what it looks like every time.
Yeah, you got a lot of hot girls. It's funny, I'm adding on to the joke too
But they're
because I'm
different
talking
types.
to the women too, and I'm like,
They're often
we don't
MILFs.
really follow male models. Like
No.
I don't just follow a man because of like what he looks
Yeah.
like on Instagram.
You
I
follow
don't follow
funny men.
anyone like that. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I follow other comedians.
I love that. That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zeke, what do you think the tale would tell about you from your homepage?
Honestly, I am recently single, so like I kind of like,
Yes.
but like not to that
I'm not
extent.
judging.
Actually, 'cause, like,
Not judging.
I mean, there might be like, you know, a Brazilian girl in there one time, like I don't know, like,
Nice.
but it's mostly tattoos, bikes, other content creators who are like, yo, this is the secret to like be viral. Da, da, da.
Yes.
And that's a whole niche in itself. I gotta
Yes,
say,
I
you
get
know?
that too, honestly.
And also,
It's some of those
I
hot
don't
girls.
think it's true.
I mean,
I don't
wait,
think.
wait.
I think when people are making like do this and you'll go viral, or these are the things that you need to go viral. It's like I think I think sometimes things just blow up. And then if you take advantage of that, you keep it moving, you know, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people that like the manifestation stuff. Like I fucking love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm about it. I love affirmations.
We're gung-ho
I
on
love
it.
visualizing. I love meditating. I love creating my future in my mind.
Yeah.
It makes sense that things start in your mind before they're actualized. Literally everything.
It's how you gotta build it.
Anything ever was started in a brain and then it was actualized in the physical. So like
It's the natural
manifestation
progression.
for sure is real, but also like people who just kind of got lucky and figured it out and then started talking about how manifestation is real, they exist too. They exist too.
Yep.
It's
It
not.
just happens
It's just sometimes it happens, and then they're like, "This is my lane. I love to coach." But like, I don't know if you're actually telling us anything that will make us go viral.
I think it's
too.
like it's good to do different research, if nothing
Yes.
else, to look at, oh wow, the algorithm learned me enough to serve me this, whether these are like a shitty product or not. Because same with just like shopping for fruits, like some grapes are rotten and some any specific type of fruits. Paul Rudd. So yeah, it's like you gotta use your discernment and discretion on what you take in. But I think ultimately seeing that the algorithm notices about you that you are interested in bettering yourself,
Yeah, true.
I'm like, oh, good.
I love that content. I follow
I
a
get a
couple
lot of that too,
therapists
actually. Oh
online.
my God,
Man,
yeah.
they blow my mind.
Oh yeah, some of those therapists make me feel really seen.
Yeah.
Like extremely seen. Like, yeah, I did endure that as a kid.
How did you know? Do you know me
Yeah.
personally?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then you realize
share it on your story.
we're all
Show everyone that this is what you went through.
But on the topic of manifestation, are you guys like about mind movies? I just heard about this. And, like,
Yeah,
I don't-
definitely.
you gotta play it in your head and live it there and make it as vivid as possible.
Okay, no. Do you guys follow School of Hard Knocks at all? I mean,
I don't
That
think
guy who runs up to people like, "Excuse me, ma'am, how did you get $5 billion?"
no. It's like, excuse me, man. How did you make $5 billion? All fast.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
this guy talks like a mile a minute, but like it
And he's
works
like-
for him. And like I got.
Well, he has
tons of
to, because
respect.
how are these people are stopping? And also, does he
Yeah.
contact them
Oh,
beforehand?
for sure.
I mean,
it's
I think
just a
Some must.
format.
Like
Yeah.
the lady on the yacht.
It's for sure
She's
they're
not
prepared.
talking to you, 19-year-old.
And they're so done up, like they're so camera ready.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's perfect.
But
so
it's really good. I like the content.
I like the content.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, it's a good show format. Like, hey, just let me talk to you for a minute.
Yo, Man on the Street is a great format, honestly.
Exactly.
Like, aside from School of Hard Knocks,
That's what it
there's,
is.
like, countless people who have found, like, amazing success with that format.
Yeah.
But he did an interview recently. I saw a clip, and it was, like, some lady talking about, like, mind movies. She's, like, she made her first million when she was, like, 26 or something. And then she goes on to, like, talk about, like, what you're saying, where it's, like, oh, like, everything starts in the mind, you know? And
Yeah.
a mind movie is, like, apparently something you make on, like, or you can make it on Canva or, like, any video editing software, but it's just, like, it aligns everything to, like, what you're trying to get, you know? But, like, or, like, what
Kind
you're
of like
trying
a
to
vision
go
board,
for.
but movie-esque.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a different take on a vision board, I feel like, but I was like, damn, like, I'm gonna start doing that. And it just, like...
Honestly, you should. It's crazy how like things like that, even if you're kind of unconsciously looking at it every day. We have a vision board on our wall that probably could use an update,
Yeah,
honestly.
we should fill it in.
But I remember, like, at the end of 2 years ago of this vision board, I was like looking at the vision board, and I was like, "Oh my God, I have a photo of me this year with like holding an award, like, and it wasn't my award. I was actually accepting the award on someone's behalf, but there was a woman on that." On comedy holding an award, and like there were other like a few things that I was like, holy shit, there's like 3 things literally, like I could put pictures side by side of these things and I'd be like, whoa, that came true. Not in the way that I expected, obviously, but like
You almost get the snapshot image.
yeah, and just things like that. That's like what writing on your mirror too, and you said you wrote on your wall, be courageous. I think that will change your life.
Honestly, I
really
think
do.
the 2025 view, or like just it's having it on your phone.
It's
you
an
have to have your
affirmation.
vision board on your phone.
That's a
Like,
good
you know,
idea.
like,
I love that.
Yeah, that is a good
I got my
idea.
personal trainer, my bank account, the brand over here, the dream bike, dream car. I mean, like,
Yeah,
everything right there.
Keep
you know?
yourself in it. Yeah.
Okay, so
On mine, I have what belongs to you will come to you.
Okay.
So it's like it reminds that like put it here. This
And also
I'm
let
doing
it
that,
go.
but here and also let
I
it
might
go.
combine them.
Oh no, I love that. And
Like
let
what
it go.
belongs to you. Like if you really believe what belongs to you will come to you, then anything that comes to you, like that's it. That's yours. Like
So,
that,
yeah.
you don't need to worry about anything else.
And then, but also to put I swear to God, I've felt things vividly mentally. I love this Mexican trumpet solo happening behind me. I feel like I'm Brazilian.
Yeah, it's got a little vibe going on.
Things I've envisioned or felt. I think you can. I think the undertone to all this is you use your mental to feel your way into it. And then once you feel your way into it and you connect that and live there, reality goes.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you already know that you have it. Okay, yeah, here it is then.
Yeah.
It's like, boom, you know?
We manifested, Benny, I swear to God. And like,
Oh, yeah,
and,
we
and
did.
him,
I don't know
us,
if we've
I think
even
it was
told you that.
perfect time for Benny
Perfect
to come into
co-collaboration.
our life and for vice versa, for us to, you know, like, I feel like it was a good time to meet you as well.
Yeah.
Like, this has been a kind season to a couple new friends, and I'm grateful for that. I think that's one of my favorite parts of, oh, I'm headed in the right direction. I'm resonating with this person, or look at the potential for this collaboration, and look how much bigger things can get and better they can get the more we kind of share direction.
I think I manifested you guys too, actually, not gonna lie.
Bless.
No, because like, I think this year I was like, I want to know more content creators.
Yeah.
And like,
Here we are.
Yeah, right in the guts.
bro, and like, I have some friends who are like also kind of in that space too.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I just like, I now know more content creators, and it's March, you know, and like I have like a decent list.
The
so I was
rest of
like-
this year has to be good
Yeah.
because the first part of the year was a little insane.
It was the longest January of
Beat the shit out of us. It
Yeah.
was like, remember Rocky where it's getting hit in the
Yeah,
fucking
we got
liver
all of that.
over and over?
We got all of the tough stuff up front, and now I think we're just cruising, baby. Yeah. Let's go. But I want to know about your personal brand
Yes.
and your journey to like
bike video
building
thing.
your audience. Like what an authentic, cool audience that you're building,
Yeah.
and like what you hope to do with your brand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like to wrap up my like how I got started situation, like I cut my teeth in plastic surgery, oddly enough, and then like I think a couple months after that, I think like after a year, I was like, all right, like I don't believe in plastic surgery, so every day walking to that joint, I was like, I love you guys, great team, great, like awesome, but I was just like, it goes against my soul because I don't believe in what I'm doing here. So I was like, I need to find something I believe in. And then at some point, Bikes on Wheels, shout out Sean and Harrison and just everyone there because they're dope. It's a bike shop in Kensington Market.
Yeah.
And,
I was like, I know that place.
Yeah.
They're like the bike shop.
Yeah.
in
mean, I want to say so.
Yeah.
Like them and Sunday, dope people overall.
That's sick.
But like also there's some cool bike shops in Toronto.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure. Toronto's a
100%.
great city, world class, especially in the summer. Only in the summer. Continue, sorry.
But then yeah, they were hiring for social media, and then I was just like immediately like, hey, how's it going? I went in, talked to Harrison. They're just like, all right, like da 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 da. We did it up, and then I think I worked for them for like a year and a half or like 2 years or something. I don't know. But then yeah, at some point I was just kind of like, oh, like I'm making bike stuff, and I from that point on I was like just making bike stuff, and I was like, dope, this is great, I love it, you know. It's like pulling up to work every day and being like, what bike am I gonna
So
film?
nice.
Like,
So
I
nice
was
to
just, like,
feel that
so
way.
synchronous, you know. I was like,
Fulfillment.
yeah,
And you get to
yeah.
express in your creative way, but with something that you're passionate about. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I was just like doing that every day. And then I remember Harrison, shout out Harrison, because honestly, he has like a huge part in this because he let me use his 360 camera, right? Just to like record some stuff around the city. And I was like, okay, cool. And I started posting it for like Bikes on Wheels, whatever. But then I remember taking it out one time and like just kind of recording like some crazier clips of me like kind of just weaving across the city and shit like I do. And yeah, then like that started getting some traction, and then like I just kept posting, and I was like, this is kind of fun, this is kind of cool. Okay, like all my passions coming together of like camera shit, like photography, like bikes and everything, just like whoa. And
You
then
felt good about them.
I felt great about it, you know. And like my first viral video was at like 9,000 views or something, but like it blew up because it got like so much hate from people being like, oh, that should be illegal. But I was just like going through
God.
Lakeshore at like a faster than usual pace, and it looked like I was like weaving through real aggressively, and people were like, oh my God, tagging like Toronto police Instagram account, and I was like, yo, okay, first off, I blocked them immediately. I was like, I don't fuck with no like.
Yeah, get out of here.
Fuck with that.
Rats.
Yeah, but then there was just like a whole debate
Karen ass
going on,
rat.
you know? Yo,
So-
for real, I was like,
Fucking.
Who
Let this
who
man live
are
his best
you
life.
on the other end of that phone?
You
like,
must be
I don't
so
think
sad.
You don't have
I
nothing else
like
to do?
you.
Yeah, I think that you need to like take some personal time and meditate before you attack people
I think
online.
you should get a hobby.
Yeah, maybe work out because I don't imagine you're very healthy physically either.
Yo,
Sorry.
I mean, anyone who like has the time to hate on the internet, first off, I say thank you because engagement.
It's engagement!
I was just like,
Your
yo,
haters will get
it
you
got-
bread, son.
Yo, for real, it blew up to 9,000, and for me, I had like I think a couple thousand followers, and I was like, oh, cool. And it was like all personal friends and shit. I was like, oh, great, like 9,000 views, awesome. But then I just kind of kept posting like kind of like
Edgy.
sus, edgy looking clips or whatever, and like kind of the same thing started happening. I was like, oh
Sick.
shit, okay.
You,
So then,
you took what worked.
Bro, I need
Good
to
job.
make you a rebellious fucking theme song. Yeah, you need to go out and just make a video to it, dog.
I would be so down for that.
Catch these
Actually,
skids, bitch.
Yo, I mean, if we're trying to do like I'm putting together
Let's do Let's do it.
a video kind of thing for Built to Destroy because it's gonna be a lot of riding along with the apparel.
Built to
along with,
Destroy?
like- yeah,
let's
I mean,
talk,
it
let's
is.
talk about it. It was a good segue into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I after I think 2 or 3 years, I amassed a full audience, and I was like, great, like, and I relied a lot on like these brand deals and everything for like I don't know, like as a source of income. So I mean, I wouldn't say. Even now, I rely on brand deals as a source of income. Like, shout out Pirate Sound one time for taking me on as a social media manager because, you know, paying my bills and I'm making cool stuff.
Sick.
But I was just kind of like, damn, like I don't really like reaching out to companies and stuff and like
The pitch is tough, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hate the pitch.
Cold hard acquisition is bullshit.
just- yeah, and I was like, man, I'd rather just make stuff that like I use that I know I'm gonna use and it could probably benefit other people too. So why don't I just like make stuff that I want to use and other people want to use too, and like that could be a brand. Wait, hold on, I could just have my own company. Oh wait, why don't I just
Yeah.
do that? And then I started like just
Yeah,
kind of
you promote
spitballing
your
and
brand.
shit. I
Did
was
did
like,
Yes.
you did you brain jam with Dan a little bit on this?
No, I
No.
was just kind of like I don't know.
That's a good wave to be on. That's
Oh, I
like
mean, yeah. I mean, wait, how do you mean like good wave?
I
Or
was just gonna
like-
say like
Brain jam.
Well, shout out Dan who actually connected us.
Yeah.
He's just like chatting with people who think on that level. I appreciate that perspective to make your own business like Joe Rogan has on it. Like, you know, like if you build a platform or have some sort of attention with content or create some sort of sweet candy that's fun for people, so what? Make it mean something. Benefit the culture or sell something or, you know, like contribute something else. And I think this is great because it's a grander idea that comes from, you know, biking has this natural rebellious art to it. Yeah. And like you've captured that in content in an authentic way, but like this is almost like your movement or something. I want to say like your message is in this.
A little bit, yeah. Because at first I was just like, I don't know. It started with the sweater, and at that point I was just kind of like, okay, I just want to like have a cozy sweater that like I kind of like. And I was like, yeah, what if I make it reflective so like at night I'm not as like fucked if I'm like out and just not, you know, wearing.
Is this it?
Yeah, I mean, yo, you gotta rep
Sick.
You know?
444. We love that number. That's strong. And what's on the back?
It's a whole. I mean, I'm just gonna.
What does
Use my-
444 mean to you?
For me, it's like positivity and like encouragement and everything. I
It's
mean, I don't
strong.
know.
It's-
Probably
Yeah,
gonna
we-
get a little booty sweat.
It's
in
strong,
there.
yeah.
But wait, is it like?
We can probably just put the
Look
logo.
at that.
Ooh.
There it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But
Gorgeous.
Appreciate you. Thank you for modeling.
Is that a sun or a bomb? What's happening
It's
there?
like the explosion kind of
The explosion.
graphic from
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Wemyss label, and then I just kind of put like build destroy kind of thing, because like I don't know, like the brand it's kind of just coming together, really.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Isn't
want-
that how? Literally, we have had now hundreds of people on this show, and everyone's like, we're just flying by the seat of our pants every single time. There's no one that's ever like, yeah, I mapped out like I planned out everything and everything went according to plan. Like that's not. I think that's why a lot of people don't appreciate entrepreneurship or don't even, try it because they're just like, that does not sound fun to like not know where the next money is coming from or not know how to execute what I've just promised a client, like in a way that will benefit, myself and them. And it's just like, you just learn as you figure it the fuck out. If you're committed to doing it, you'll figure it the fuck out.
I mean, yeah. Oh wait, do these pick up? Is this picking up as well, or?
Did it just get louder in your?
I don't know.
ears?
I just got like a little stab. I was like, oh, like should we?
I know sometimes when he puts it down, I think it gets worse.
When I throw it down, shit gets worse. Sounds like a
but-
bar.
Go write that down. Real
I
quick.
definitely cut you off
I'll
though,
remember it.
and I can't remember what we were talking about.
Entrepreneurship, and honestly, I
Yes.
just remember that because that speaks to my soul. Because like I'm not a business guy. I
Yo.
like making cool stuff, you
Yeah,
know.
you're an
I feel
artist.
you, man. I'm
But
the same.
like the business side is like a part of, I don't know, the whole art side. They have to be married together. To,
It's
like,
uncomfortable.
actually- it's new. It's just like it's new. It's scary, and like putting yourself out there like that, being like, hey, like there is this thing, and I really like it. Like you should buy it.
Or you
Like-
have to be so confident about like that. And I think part of what we practice as artists is not being so married to the right thing. Because if you have an
Yeah.
idea for a video and you show up on the day and some rando suggests something that just works, or you see something completely different that you wrote this storyboard, that's our job to pivot. We have to, like when I'm rhyming or whatever, it's like, I don't know the end of every bar. It's, God's going to tell me. And it does every time. Like I receive the information as it comes in. So it's our job to be unmarried to a certain fact. And I think good salesmanship, where I understand that like big contracts are made, is big promises are made, big ideals are made, and big principles are like assertively like just this is exactly what we're gonna do, and they're being so certain, where it's like, fuck, that's so not innate to us as artists to be so certain. I think on something, I find myself most clients I get
Because
are
we have to
already
be
fans.
open. You have to be open to when you're creating something. Like you gotta receive all of the potential possibilities, and then let your creativity choose which lane you're gonna go through. So to be certain about anything kind of stifles that openness.
Yeah, because you have to be open to like also failing, because that is also like,
Yeah, that's
a
the
thing,
hardest
you know?
part. Well, sometimes I go back and forth. I'm like, am I afraid of failure or am I afraid of success? I don't know. Like,
Well said.
I'm not really sure, to be totally honest. I think now more I'm leaning towards the side of I'm afraid of failure, but I think up until this point I was like, if I get successful, everything will change. And that's not untrue, but it's not necessarily true in the way that it makes me fearful. Like I think for a long time I was like, well, if I get success, then there's like not enough room for other people to be successful, or like maybe people will
Abandon me.
abandon me in ways that they're like they don't fuck with, or get jealous, or like maybe my star
that's
will
fine.
shine too bright and people can't handle that, and then I'll lose them. Yeah, ultimately it's definitely like a fear of people leaving.
Damn.
But you don't have to do that. And as you evolve, I think people will appreciate you in different levels that you're at, right? I mean, fear of the loss of friends, if you read Think and Grow Rich, is like in some of the common fears. It also sparks competition, which Winnie has been growing in her courage and being courageous. Because I think, stand up in the podcast has really like forced her to take up space and believe in yourself. I think that's part of being I'll be so confident people think I'm arrogant, but then at the end of the day, I'm willing to see another star shine bright and celebrate that as well. So I think like there's totally enough room for everyone.
There is. There's
Abundant.
absolutely enough room for everyone.
I always want someone to shine, and in fact, if we all get sharpened on it, I think my native land is being in a cipher. Like that's what I most like imagine in the performance of life, with other really great rappers in a cipher all waiting to spit on a beat. That's almost like the core element of hip hop. Breakdancing has that too. So there's this element of competition, but in a very healthy way, like athleticism. Like it's like I want the other team to be good because then I'll get better. And like, oh, they're gonna force me to do something. Like if that guy kills it in his bars, I'm going to have to set up my delivery and be even more creative to dominate that performance. And then you got to go back and forth. And like, that's just, I think that's beautiful. So if you don't have confidence to show up and take up space for yourself in the first place, like you can't even get to that level of
That's
inspiration.
what I mean. We kind of touched upon that when you guys were sorting out the cameras. That I had this moment last week, just last week, 36 years old,
Nice.
where I was like, holy shit, like you gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Like
No one
no
else is gonna-
one's gonna fucking do that for
Yo,
you.
that's why I rep my shit, because no one's gonna rep my shit as hard as I'm gonna rep my shit.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just like I love my shit and it shows.
Yeah.
Like, and you gotta love your
Tell
shit.
us,
You know.
what does 444 mean to you?
Oh, okay. So I mean, I got this tattooed on my body, the 444, right?
Whoa.
Beauty.
Like years ago, and I think I had a dream one time, I think I was like up late at night or some shit. I was like contemplating something, and I was like, oh my god, da da da, and then like it just kind of hit me, and I was like, I'm gonna go do that, and then I look at the clock, and it was 444, and I was like,
Angel number.
you know,
that's
and I was
beautiful.
like, it was just
Alignment.
reinforcement, and like that feeling for me, I was like, oh my god, like yes, okay, and I was just so determined and so driven at that point. And I was like, I want to carry that on. So that's why like I got it tattooed on my body. So anyone who sees my leg, they're just gonna, or like if they see my leg for whatever reason, they'll be like, oh yo, like, and maybe hopefully / maybe they'll have a moment like that where it's like, oh my god, I had a great idea, and then they see my leg and they're just like,
Oh, that's lovely. Because I've use numbers as well to validate my alignment, and so like I'll
Your
see it
higher being.
on obviously clocks and stuff, but also on license plates, addresses, and it just you're absolutely right. You have this thought, and then you see the number, and you're like, well,
oh my god.
all right.
Affirming.
So then
Yeah.
beyond myself, I was like, okay, like what if I just put it on the hoodie? So imagine like you're walking around doing your thing in the same situation where it's just like, oh my god, and then you see the hoodie and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my word, da 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 da. So
I
like,
love that.
I embodied that.
I love that.
And then
That's really
This
wild,
pain-
actually, because like you'll never know how many people you like 100%
Impact.
affected and impacted.
Right?
Yeah,
Wow.
because that's literally gonna be like that's gonna happen all over the world.
Like I felt good when I
People-
seen it. Like that's that's beautiful.
and like even for people
numbers
who
are
like
great. Do you still see it? Like, do you see 444?
I've been seeing a lot of 444, a lot of 2s actually, 222. Actually I've been seeing like I feel like I'm really in sync right now.
I
because
think
I've
you're
been
aligned
seeing,
right
like,
Yeah, you're in
a
aligned.
lot, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
People have received meeting me as Ellevan as an affirmation, and I'm like, that is exactly what I'm embodying. Like when I chose to like do music and like fully embody that, so I very much feel that.
Do you think like when you've like hung out with The Rock and like things that have happened like that, do you take that as a sign of alignment?
Absolutely. I think every miracle like little burst that happens is like totally to tell me that what I was doing just before that thing happened is the right attitude to hold.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then that reinforces that sort of upkeep of that attitude.
it's always joy.
Yeah.
I think like with the feeling that these things give you, and then when you can become it for other people too. So you're broadcasting and receiving synchronicities, which like are signs of miracles, or like a communication that something else is guiding you, or that reality is so much more than the matter that we observe. And if that goes for physical things, like you can literally wake up in a new like penthouse in Hollywood. This is an experience I've had. Like literally on the floor, nowhere to go, penthouse, Hollywood. And just like, cause I kind of felt my way freely into it and like didn't
and like
worry.
you take it too.
I take it. I'll
like-
just show up and do it.
Yeah, I think you're a pretty good master manifester of like a certain level. I feel like you've upper limited yourself due to many years of like experience
Pain
and
addiction.
pain addiction.
Yeah,
but like
you're right.
once you smash that
I'm
ceiling,
working on
I
it
think
right
it's
now.
gonna be insane.
You know what I think, and I think this is where I'm resonating with what you guys are saying of needing courage. My glass ceiling, it requires a lot of courage. Is you got to basically let go of everything you know, which was your survival tool to get you here, and trust that you can do that now. Like I can do that. Like I can perform. Like I don't even have to develop that skill as much as I fucking am addicted to developing that skill, so I'll never stop. But like it's now about like do all the shit that really scares you, like get your business affairs in order, understand your value,
Taxes,
all that, bro. On the strength of Dan, I started an LLC in Delaware. I fucking have become an American business owner before I even knew the benefits of doing that or having that. I'm still learning. It scares the shit out of me. But then I'm like, oh well.
It also doesn't make me feel very comfortable.
Well, it hasn't been helpful for Winnie to be such a doubter in this whole fucking process. But then at the end of the day, when you envision your future, it's not just, okay, my government Canadian checkings account with one bank. Like when I understand that people have more wealthy holdings and operate on a higher level, it's like that's not it. That's not only it. It's great to have that too, but I think especially most Canadians are really scared and they feel backed into a corner because the system is actually pretty simply laid out for you, where I think Americans operate on a slightly more like what's the word where you try and create new different things. So
they
yeah.
do. They
like different banks and different ways of processing and handling money, like Cash App almost
don't
feels
ask for
janky.
permission, ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's what I feel Americans embody.
Well, it's the
Okay,
prosperity.
Canadians be asking permission before.
Or like if you think about it, like I think Americans can earn $60K before they start to get taxed on their personal, but like Canadians is 30.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then like if you think about just the way that the provinces and the states are, just like all that business structure stuff, like it all just sounded like mustard shit to me, like or like over the previous years, and then I've been closely more like getting close to the fire and the flame, and it's like God, it's all bullshit really, like it's all creative, like these people are making this nonsense up, and the way
that's true, they made it up.
The way that's what you end up learning, and then you're like, okay, so this contract to be a business in this country, and the way that like especially Delaware LLCs are set up, it's like so fascinating, like why these opportunities are created. So you end up looking more into like almost the philosophy of the countries, like and how their people handle crypto and just like how to move around money once you start making it. Not that we are yet, but it's like.
Would you like to have your ad placed here?
Yeah, this would be really helpful. Let's get some brands, some consistent retainers on board. But exactly, right? How to delegate and how to manage that and how to limit your liability. And also just, so that's like managing it once you get it or knowing what to do. But then also there's the acquisition phase, like you said. Like this has been such a exciting at times, but humbling during the rest of it. Like I think I have so many, as disciplined stoners before we became Ellevan Wins podcast, we made an impact in the cannabis community to where we have a lot of basically like fans and friends of the community for what we're doing. And they're like CEOs and even owners of companies. But when it comes to actually executing something of like mutual benefit, they like still have to, do their due process, and just like sometimes it's not the season or, certain just factors that, I never would have considered when a company's fiscal year ends and, what their rollout may look like. And like you end up having to listen more. And I think that's what's not innate to artists. Like, because we're creative, we're like...
You have to be obsessed with yourself as an artist.
Yeah.
You have to be obsessed with yourself and your experience. And that, like, whatever that comes with. It can come with people being like, artists are fucking losers. Like, they...
Assholes,
like,
self-indulgent assholes.
But, like, hey, we're on this planet, too. We're allowed.
And when you guys need to relax, who do you fucking watch? You watch our videos. All of our videos, you watch it.
I don't know if this was exactly where you were headed, but I do want to know if you acknowledge and celebrate your wins.
Yeah, I could work on that. I know that for a fact. I
think more people would resonate with that than not. It's wild how we can work towards something and then it can come true. And then you're pumped for like 67 minutes. And then you're like, hey, I guess I better like do the next thing that
say seconds there, yeah.
yeah, you get pumped for a minute, it's pretty sick for a minute, but then it's like, okay, what's next? And then it's like, you just got this cool thing. Like maybe you should just marinate in that cool thing for a second instead of being like, how can I like leverage this? How can I go? Where can I go from here? How can it be better? I think that's like a little bit of a plight with all people, but with artists and creatives specifically. It's like you don't bask in it at all. I've never seen anyone really be that good at that.
Because it's such a good feeling too. Like it's such a good feeling
Is
to
it
rejoice.
because it's actually that fleeting? Like the manifestation of it is actually that fleeting?
I think we just need to be more grateful as like artists, like I said, like instead of just like grinding. And like I feel like sometimes even like myself, like I'm addicted to like the grind, I just want to like be working all the time and not just stop and smell the roses, because like there are roses, there are blooming,
Do you think that's out of our is there a fear of missing out?
I remember training myself to think as soon as you step off stage, like militantly, it's like focus on the next thing, like don't celebrate. Like I remember telling myself that. I think that it's mentally learned. I think we should take time to celebrate.
I definitely think like people
It'd be
need
natural.
to do that, including myself. I know that for a fact, because I don't know, even for my birthday, it's in December, but then I had a couple of friends being like, oh, like, like, aren't you gonna like do something? And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take the day, like, I don't know, spend it by myself, like, I don't know, enjoy my day the way I want to. That's like my birthday present for me.
Nice.
yeah.
But they were just like, yo, like, we should like do all this stuff and da-da-da-da, and I was like, yeah, but like I don't feel like I've been working hard enough. And they're just like, you work all the fucking time. What do you mean? I was
Okay,
like,
that's
Wild inside.
true, but so I mean, I definitely think I could celebrate the wins a little bit more,
Appreciate
but, like,
yourself.
When I don't know, when you have all these like goals and like I don't know, just the never-ending to-do list, it's just kind of like I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, I do feel that.
I mean, you got a phone screen like that too, reminding you of where you're headed or like what
and
you
like,
want to bring in.
You could. I don't know about you because like you are non-stop.
Yeah.
Like it's just like we're supposed to be watching a movie and you're editing a clip and it's my business too. So I'm like, fuck. I guess like it's better that he's doing it than me. Like. It's all the time. Yeah,
and with social media especially, like, you can be working all the time. And, like, as a social media manager, like, I do feel like I'm working all the time because I'm just like, oh, like, I have, like, 10 minutes, I can put together a reel.
Yeah.
And, like, an hour goes by, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay,
Exactly.
I know, and we're unrealistic about how long it takes. I think especially when you're good at it, you're like, oh, I think like when you start to get in the groove with it, you're like, I can do this in 10, 15. And literally an hour goes by every time.
Clients, we have to charge because we don't want to shortchange you with renditions. It takes so many times just to get a can of cover right, but I'm like, I don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
It is that thing, like when you were saying like, oh, I could just sit in front of a camera. It's like, yeah, but also it's like people are gonna like use this against you too. I just think like a rapper as well, like a little bit of like battle. It's like if someone wants to like, take anything online, like. Anything corny.
Wait,
like you don't want to keep
as
the
like
ick
a
factor.
hardcore rapper.
Not
you
like
mean?
a hardcore rap. Like who?
Well, is that I'm wondering if that's what the fear is of like someone pulling up one of these Canna covers and when you've like blown up as like more of like a.
I don't think I'm like so aggressive as a rapper that my personal brand wouldn't resonate with the comedic elements of a kind of cover.
They're gonna come
Okay,
back
that's
and be
good.
like, yo, you said this one thing.
Yeah, no, I guess I mean like being hyper aware of the ick factor. Like sometimes you want to like keep.
But also like
who
you have to
cares,
let it
dude?
go a little bit
I've
because
honestly fully let go. I don't give a fuck
Yeah,
anymore.
no, I'm just trying to
Post.
say I just like try and edit shit so it looks like as dope as possible.
you do.
The ick factor not so much in like my personal judgment of myself, but the video's quality.
right.
Like if
That's
this
good.
if this cut is left too long, like this is gonna feel like amateur hour.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I have to go back into that cut. I have to. Like I couldn't. Like those minute snippets. It's just like I see them now as like time wasters, and content is basically like neurological manipulation. Like you have to keep the beats quick, and like anything that's like hell. Like when I'm editing our comedy skits now, the one that fucking blew up, I use this too. I'm so Humble calls it the Gen X cut, and it's actually where you did it, or the Gen Z cut. Sorry, not the Gen X cut, the Gen Z cut. And you did it on the Hotbox thing, where you actually start the cut. Basically, the first word of the sentence is already second, where it's you did it on first. We're gonna go in second, and
retention editing.
Retention of the attention. So that's the thing. Like those comedy skits have that too. Like I remember editing comedy when I started comedy, which is insane to be able to say that now. It's like 20 years ago. Holy fucking shit, that's nuts. Jesus, what is time? And it was like the Funny or Die, the early YouTube years, and it was like cut to hold, line, hold, cut.
Yeah.
And then films before us, it was basically like...
Yeah, if you watch comedies from like the late
slow
90s, early 2000s, so much just silence on
time.
screen.
Yeah.
But there was
they
time for
appreciated
acting.
That, you know?
Yeah.
And like there was an artistry to it where like, you took in the landscape and then it panned down to like your hero doing something.
Yeah, it was
and
one
then
take. You were
like,
patient.
Panned on your face and they're like...
Intros of just like wides of cities.
Yes.
Like while the...
While some
credits are
80s
being
synth
shown.
pop happens and words come up, it's like, we would not put up with that now.
Yeah, I feel like...
So
Unless
we
you're
need those
doing it
quick
on
cuts.
purpose. But even now, like I think we started watching an old film and we ended up turning it off because we were like, our attention span is
My
not...
brain is used to like fucking big tits right away, you know,
Guns,
or something,
cars,
something.
It's
And
all
like,
about family.
it was It's like the snowflake, and it's like soft piano, and it takes so long, and there's a black screen, and that's already 5 seconds, and nothing's been done for my dopamine.
There's no hit.
So when you watch these types of films now, you're like, I'm watching this as like...
A piece.
I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah,
fine
yeah.
art and
Yes!
culture.
I
I know you don't. Personally, I see that. You disgust me. But I am a man of culture.
It's almost like, I'm so good. I'm so good that I can appreciate this
That's
old
what it's
piece.
exactly like.
I am so much better.
Yo, I went to art school, guys. Trust me. Like, yeah, no.
You have to like use your meditation breath to get through the film just because you're so anxious. It's almost done. Holy fuck.
Fucking gorgeous. Hilarious.
So what does success
Shit.
look like for you in your future?
I want to be doing what I love with people I really care about every single day.
Let's go.
So basically you're winning right now already?
I'm pretty successful, but I just want to like amplify I don't know, outreach or just amplify the amount of that, I guess. And like make it more rigorously that like I'm only doing what I love all the fucking time.
That's
People
what's
I love all the fucking time. And
Yeah.
just like in places that I really love
All the fucking time.
Like,
That should be eventually on your merch.
all the fucking time. Honestly,
Ride
putting
all
a pin
the
on that
fucking
one.
time.
Built to destroy. That's a strong affirmation.
Yeah, because I mean, like technically,
What's
everything.
the best defense? Offense.
I mean, everything's kind of built to destroy if you really think about it. Like, we're built to destroy. We're built to fucking literally just, I don't know, live our lives and die after a while. And it's like,
Oh, you're thinking
all right.
about it from the vulnerable.
I mean, how do you mean?
Like you're saying we're built to destroy, like to be destroyed.
I mean, a little bit of both, because like it works both ways. Where it's like, all right, like we're all kind of built to be destroyed, but at the same time, like this is built to be destroyed. Like you just beat the shit out of it, kind of thing. You know?
Oh,
so
nice.
Kind of like
No,
I don't know.
again, you're like receiving it. I was thinking it from like a hockey player perspective. Like I'm built to destroy. I'm thinking I'm Thor. I'm built to destroy. That's how I would rock it. So your shit can go both ways. Nice.
I mean, yeah, I
There's-
actually never even thought about
That's
that.
the offense. That's what I was saying. Built to destroy. So it's like that's what's the best defense?
built to
Offense.
fucking
We can beat this baby up though, can't we?
I mean, no, love yourself and everything.
No, I
but your
know, I
know,
peers
but-
should like, you know.
I mean from the perspective of like being successful, like you know, crushing it. Like, you know, this thing that's coming up, like, hey, build the podcast. Okay, we're fucking built to destroy out
destroying
here.
it.
We're gonna destroy these fucking goals, you know?
I love how they're such passionate words.
Yeah.
These like
Trigger words almost.
yeah. Kill, slay, destroy, murder. Yeah, you murdered. That's big in the comedy. Like when someone murders, you don't use it very often, but when
Yeah.
they murder, like to say someone murdered at comedy, like that's probably like
that's
one of
like-
the highest.
I love this jazz, this Latin jazz that we've brought. You can hear it in the headphones.
I start my day every morning with just like my radio blaring jazz, and I'm just like, I had jazz on the whole day. I was listening to some samba at the gym, and now this,
Yes.
I'm like, oh fuck, guys, come on, don't do this to me.
So good.
So besides your obvious amazing personality, why should someone follow you?
Yeah, what are you gonna keep giving him?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just like ride bikes. I film stuff. I like have fun doing it. I'm gonna get more into like traveling with said bikes and everything. And I realized something else that's gonna like make me profoundly happy is just like traveling more and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like if I could travel with my bike everywhere, that'd be really fucking cool. So I'm gonna start making like, I don't know, that kind of content.
How do you
style,
take your bike on a plane?
Yeah.
You pay $100 and like
Oh.
bag that motherfucker up. Yeah.
That's pretty good. 100
Yeah.
extra bucks
I mean,
both
100,
ways.
150-ish kind of
Shit.
thing. I mean,
I had no idea. They just put it down with the luggage.
yeah, and you just gotta like, I mean, it's a process to like get that motherfucker in there, but like once you do, it's like, you know, you wrap it up and then. they
Is it
just
in
kinda-
like a package?
It's like a, I don't know, a TV box kind of thing. Like, I think of it like a 60.
Okay, so you have to
like,
take it apart?
Yeah.
Shit.
You have to take the handlebars off?
That's a big
I mean,
commitment.
yeah. Like my fixed gear bikes are simple like that, or like where you just kind of like you could take the handlebars off. I think if you have to take the wheels off
Do you have
and
a
then what?
Do you carry a wrench?
I mean, usually I think there's one in my
That's
bag. You mean
hilarious.
what?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's like, in order to know these things about bikes, you'd have to have the tools to utilize it.
Yeah, I mean, like a 15mm wrench and like an Allen key can take you a long way.
Allen keys are the best. Thanks, Alan.
Yo, shout out Allen one time from Allen Keys, great company.
Yo, would you facts? Would you say that you resonate or like have connected with parts of like? Because I understand from the outside looking out, there must be like a bike culture.
Yeah, 100%. Bike
Like-
culture is huge.
Like
Yeah,
there's and often they're messengers, or you like? Do you
I
see
mean,
these
those
groups?
are like the OGs.
The
yeah,
OG,
yeah.
like,
And,
have you met any of these guys? Are you around the scene? Like, is there a
I mean,
scene? I have no
No,
idea.
no, 1,000% there's a scene. Yeah. Like I used to, I don't know, do like food. I don't know. I like to say I was like a messenger for like a little bit because he used to deliver like weed and like.
Sick.
I started with food and everything, but like even that's kind of like soft work because like a real messenger, they're doing paper from like 9 to 5 type shit. And
Yeah.
They're just like on their bike. They have the fucking radio and they have like a whole setup, a crew, and they have a dispatcher being like, yo, blah, 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 like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a whole thing. And those guys, I'm just like top tier, like bike gods,
Respect.
you know?
Yeah.
Me, I was like maybe like a tier or two under there doing like food and my weed shit. I was like, all right, cool. But then there's like, I don't know. Then there's like the Uber drivers who with the e-bikes being like, and then, oh, I'm turning. No.
They don't give a fuck.
You know, they're just like, oh, yeah, I got an e-bike so I could go anywhere.
Bro, they just probably came from Mumbai, and that
Bro,
shit
honestly,
is...
I ain't getting into that, but like, I
I'm
just
just
know
saying
those
the-
guys
the
are
difference.
just disrespectful, man. Goddamn. And then there's like the
They're
commuter.
getting it
you know?
done.
I mean,
That's what they're doing.
They're just moving through these streets, but like, God bless them when they show up with that food, though, eh?
Yeah, just like look behind you when you're like turning.
Just only for your safety.
Also, I don't like that's an expensive e-bike. You know, like I
Yeah.
don't want to hit your shit.
It's just
like,
new
please.
rules. I think, like, literally, it's like have such good customs in Canada and so much space and so much like time to give each other. It's like they're literally like, it's available. Like there was no one there. You know, I don't know. Because I have fun with it. I'm the dickhead that rides my scooter through the bike lane. And and the fucking road, and I'm weaving through the cars, and I'm going the sidewalk, and I'm just like jumping over shit, like having pure BMX.
I saw a little shit scooter gang on
Yeah.
Wellington the other day.
Wait, what do you
There was
mean?
6 of them.
I love
they must
teenagers
have ran.
type shit?
Yeah, they were in their teens for sure.
I think I seen these guys. That's
and
amazing.
one of
fuck
them
them kids.
literally they went through a red light. It was actually crazy. Like they went this way when the cars were going this way.
I am their leader.
This way.
I was about to say, I'm like, actually, that's like,
They scooted out into traffic.
Yo, when he made it, sick.
he ain't dead, yo.
He did fucking make it, and then
Shout
later
out,
on, but like I'm like, did that scare you? I wondered. That's what my thought was in my head. I was like, child, did that scare you, or are you like thrilled right
He's
now?
thrilled
He's
because we
probably
used to
thrilled.
ride skateboards and just like run across the street with the skateboards.
That would
with the
scare.
bikes.
It was close. I saw it. I was on my bike, so I stayed like pretty decently
You get
well
addicted
behind
to that
him.
feeling, though, man,
Bro,
let me
I
tell
do
you.
not fuck with that at all. I would consider like I'm on my bike probably 5-6 times a week. I love cycling. I'm all about. That's something that you had in your bio that you wanted to like bring more people into urban cycling and because you're right. It's the best. It's the
better
best
than
way to
cocaine,
get
straight
around.
up. Like, I haven't done cocaine. First off, I would never touch that, but it's better than cocaine.
Yeah.
Cycling is just such a great. It's good for your body.
Have you had any
It's good for
close
the
moments?
environment.
Let me open up my fucking Bible full of close moments.
Let's
Jesus
go.
Christ. I mean, no, like, yeah, I don't know, like every fucking like day. I think the worst was when I got hit. And like I have a little tinnitus in this ear now because of it, you know. And like honestly, I used to do some really dumb shit on my bike. I know that for a goddamn fact. And I was aware at the time too. I feel like at a point in life, I didn't think I was gonna make it past 27, and I was just kind of like, I'm gonna die young, 27 club, let's
Holy
get it,
shit,
you know.
bro.
And I was just kind of like okay with that.
I sense the punk rock in you.
Yeah, but like now I'm 28 and like I got a nephew and shit. Like I have my family. I was like,
Nice.
and like I have all these like dreams and goals. I was like, yo, I need to do that, you know. So I'm like, I've definitely slowed it down a little. But at
You
some
used to be
point,
wild.
I was just like, yo, fuck them kids, bro. Like,
I also think that it's your like right to choose that.
you just have to be okay with the consequences
Yeah.
that you're putting yourself
Exactly.
at risk for.
You
I
got
mean,
smoked
like,
though?
Hmm?
You got smoked though?
I mean, a couple times. Not gonna lie.
Where?
One time at Bathurst and Queen, a side street.
I was gonna say, was it near Bathurst?
Bathurst and Queen, man.
Bathurst probably is not the best like
Bathurst
to
and
cycle
Queen,
on.
where it's all like.
No, but like it was a side street, and I was just kind of like, I don't know, I forgot something at home because I lived there at the time, and like I turned the corner, and then like I don't know, I looked one way, and I was like clear, and then before I could even look at the other way,
happens.
I just kind of woke up in an ambulance, and I was like,
Oh shit.
oh.
It was
I got
that
hit,
bad.
eh? Yeah, and they're just like, uh-huh. And I was like, we're going to hospital? They're like, uh-huh. And I was like, dope. And then it wheeled my ass away because I was like, damn. Yeah.
Did you see what
That's
type of
so
car it was?
insane.
It was like a Jeep thing. It
A
was like,
Jeep.
I don't know, pretty big.
Did you break anything?
No, thank
Ugh.
God. And I was wearing a helmet, you know. So honestly, if you're gonna do dumb shit, wear a helmet, guys. I
Wear
swear
a
to God.
helmet, guys.
Or if
And
you don't,
if-
just you wear it for real.
If you're not gonna do dumb shit, just wear a helmet also.
Oh,
Because I didn't hit. I fell off my bike, and no one else was involved. It was just me and myself.
Winnie and God.
yeah, Winnie and God. God was like,
Smacked her down.
I
Today you
was so
need to be humble.
embarrassed.
And
'Cause
she
people
was
were
like cut up.
Was it a
Oh,
car? Like, was it a car? What happened? And I couldn't admit in that moment that it was my fault. I took my hand off the wheel and I was trying to put a glove on because it was real cold. And I don't know what happened really, but I didn't get the glove on and then I was on the ground. And I couldn't admit that to anyone, right? Because
gotta
I was
blame those
pretty
kids, man.
pretty roughed up.
And she FaceTimed me covered in blood, cut up everywhere, and I
And you
left what
came
I was
right
doing.
away.
Of course. And then, but I was like,
But no one else was involved, and I could have gotten hurt actually if I didn't have my helmet on. Just the way that I fell, like
I don't know
did
how
fall.
you got so tangled.
My
because-
helmet did get cracked. Like,
Yeah, like-
wear a helmet is all we're saying. Like,
I mean, yeah,
And she was like, there was a pothole or something.
there was one time I was.
And then I went and looked for it, and there was no pothole.
I know I was embarrassed.
I love
it was
you
very
so much.
scary.
It
I
happens
bet.
to the best of us. Honestly,
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, I like actually. So I put my bike back together because I recently moved, and like the tire was like backwards because like my bars could spin. And I didn't realize that, so I went to do a skid, and then like my foot caught in the skid, and I just kind of like boom.
Gross. Yeah. Hate
Nothing.
It.
There was no one. It was just me and like my like inability to see that my bike was like not properly put together, and I was like, oh, that's never happened before. That's so weird. No. But I was like, the fuck.
Oh,
do you a little bit like the shock of it at this point?
I mean, I'm going like. Other than that, I think my last accident was like probably like a couple years ago, you know,
Okay,
or like
nice.
my major accident kind of thing. Like there's been like minor mishaps where I'm just like, I popped on the curb for whatever reason. Don't mind me. But like, I want to be accident free just for like my own health and like I don't know, not to worry my family and shit. Like,
can you jump onto the sidewalk?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's like
Of course,
Molly.
yeah, of course you can.
You gotta wheelie. That's my next goal. Stay tuned. Why should people follow me? To maybe see me wheelie in the near future. Ooh.
I used to wheelie for so long.
That'll happen for
Me
you
and
this
the
summer.
homies.
I think so too.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna see Zeke wheelie this summer, 2005, coming here to you now.
Oh my God, yeah. Stay tuned.
I can't wait till you do it, and then we're gonna clip that and then
Yeah.
collab post.
Put it
you.
together.
This has been so nice.
Yo, this is a really good way to inspire people to be courageous.
Hey, he brought it back.
You're the man, bro.
Is there
I'm so
anything
glad
you want
that
to
you
leave
came.
the people with?
Ride your bike as often as possible.
Fuck yeah.
Smile, I guess, a little bit more. I mean, just for yourself. I mean, actually, maybe not that, because I feel like...
You know what? It's a nice thing to say. It actually does something for your brain.
I know,
If you
and
put a
like-
smile on your face, there's something that clicks in your brain. You will start to feel better. It feels like annoying when you're like in a bad mood and you're like, this is fucking stupid. But you literally get to a place where you can't help it. You're like, this is fucking stupid.
Smile.
And then
Tell
you just feel
myself
better.
that.
Don't
So,
be a bitch.
I don't think that's a bad thing to tell people. Unfortunately, there's like this weird like stigma
Smile
with
for me,
telling
baby.
people to smile.
Oh yeah, I would never actually like be like, oh, you should smile more, because it's like, yo, shut the fuck up. I would punch myself for that. You know?
I like it when
Yeah.
man.
older,
But
wealthy
it's-
men say it to younger women in retail positions.
Oh my elbow.
You know what I'm saying?
You know? But if anything,
If you can smile, like
No, for
through
real.
the ick of it when you're feeling down, it might help you feel better.
Thank you guys
There's
for
like science around that.
recovering that, because I tell myself that a lot. You know, when
There's
my worst days, I'm like,
prosperity. There's prosperity in there.
yeah.
You can
I
feel
remember
good.
I kind of use it sometimes when I'm like mad at you, but I know that I'm being crazy.
Yeah.
And then so like I can't be kind to you because my frequency's not there.
Yeah.
And then I'll like do the smile, lips up, and eventually you just get to a point where you're like, oh yeah, that's not a big deal. You're just like either tired or someone hurt your feelings and it triggered that, or like
hungry.
hungry. Yeah, maybe you need
Yeah.
some. You're thirsty. You need some water. So
Exactly.
I don't know.
But I mean, going back,
But-
I think I would say ride your bike a little bit more. Love each other, especially with like the state of the world. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, just love yourself and each other a little bit more. And
Yeah, I like that.
yeah, I think that'd be it. Ride your bike, spread the love.
Feel good. Blessings. Thank you, Zeke, for joining us. You're the man.
Hey, thank you for having me,
Yeah.
guys. Oh my God.
Subscribe. Tell a friend. If you follow Zeke, give him a follow
That'll be down in the description below.
and comment. And yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
Do all the things.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Love you.
Yo, perfect time, an hour and a half.
Semi-loaded with the box Chevy. Tug the trailer at $160. Fuck, I hate it, that's cock envy. 2 seasoned, I'm a pro athlete. There is no stopping me. Don't try, can't
What
get at
the
me.
fuck?
Full service, I gets busy. Clown City, I don't do silly. Bloody nose in a limousine. Rihanna and Chris Breezy. When life gets so crazy, all I know is to get busy. 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 Give me the rock, give me the rock. I'm taking shots, make them rock. I'm like a rock, not when I talk. I ain't
the ability to stop, right? I feel like I'm on one of those old timey bicycles.
Not when I talk, I hit the net and then I walk off, cocky and nuts. What are you doing? Covering me and feeling me up. Get off of me, bro. Nothing to talk.